time to Neil Sanderson, dude. We were so stoked.
Oh, dude, beyond stoked
to get you on, and then we went through the whole. We basically spent the last couple days listening to the back catalog.
Yeah.
Noticed I Hate Everything About You is about to eclipse 1 billion. Yeah. So we've been doing our part.
We're trying to get it there. It's 50 million short, but we're trying to get you guys over there. So if it eclipses soon, just remember that me and Andy are the ones that put you over there.
That got it up into 7 digits. Well, that's cool. Yeah, it's been a long journey for 3 Days Grace. I've been in the band since I was 14 years old. We were like, we formed the band in the 9th grade, and like. I Hate Everything About You came out in 2003, so that song is 22 years old now, and for us to still just be out here playing to, we've got all these big massive festivals coming up and shows selling out, and that we're just like eternally grateful, because that just is an homage to the fans that they've been along with us for this ride, this journey, and we've had an interesting one, like Adam, our original lead singer, left in 2013, and then he has rejoined the band just recently. And so, I think fans are as excited as we are about the future, and we're just looking forward, and it's just first single we put out was like, people loved it, and it did great, and it just feels like we're on this ride, yet another wave, and with our first single being almost at 1 billion and almost 23 years old.
One thing I remember about seeing you guys is that the stage presence every time I've seen you guys has been awesome. You know what I mean? And you guys have always been able to like do that. And so you feel like how do you feel like that's going to work out now? Or have you guys had made adjustments or anything like that? Or
well, it was awesome. We decided to jump on and as a special guest on part of Disturbed's tour, and we just got back like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And so those were the first 12 shows that we got under our belt as a 5-piece. And like, the last show was at Madison Square Garden, sold out.
Oh, dude.
Oh, it was, and like we played Montreal, played the Bell Center, like 17,000 people and stuff. And that was, this band has always operated under like the right amount of pressure. And like, that was definitely, we were kind of throwing ourselves to the wolves. Like, this is what it looks like. Okay. Cause both guys play guitar too. So like, if Adam's taking the lead on one particular song, Matt will like play guitar and sing backup. And vice versa. If one of Matt's songs, then Adam will play guitar. So it's kind of we have another instrument, and now we have 3 vocalists. So that opened up another whole dimension to what we can do, and it fills the sound out a lot. But yeah, getting those 12 shows under our belt now, like, and then I got home, and I'm home for a month, and I'm just like, man,
to the ice storm?
every time like 8 p.m. hits, I get this surge of energy, because. Yeah, I can't wait to get back out. But like our first show back is Sonic Temple, which is a massive festival, and we're actually gonna get down there a couple days earlier, and we rented out this little like quiet spot that we can actually like rehearse.
Oh, nice! Awesome.
So that's actually we're gonna be there, so that's part of why we wanted to do this interview so bad.
Yeah, we'll come by. We're gonna be there a couple days early, just rehearsing and stuff. So look me up, man.
Yeah, well, how far are we from there? I mean, we were gonna drive. It's like a 25-hour drive from us, though. Sonic Temple. I mean, it's
what now?
Like 25-hour drive from Idaho.
Yeah, I wouldn't be doing that.
Yeah. So what an awesome lineup! Like you guys, and then Metallica's 2 nights, and Korn, and Linkin Park, and
you guys are doing like the Danny Wimmer circuit, basically. And I'm like, these guys I feel like should maybe be headlining these.
Well, let me tell you something, man. I was at
Metallica. Should I be not going there?
I went to but I gotta put a different perspective, and I appreciate that. That's kind words. But I was at Metallica last night, and Pantera opened, and I'm going back tomorrow to see back to Toronto to see. It'll be Limp Bizkit opening on Saturday.
Oh, nice.
And dude, it was a baseball stadium. Like there were 50,000 people there.
Oh shit!
So I think what I saw last night answers your question. Like definitely Metallica's.
Well, yeah, I'd say Metallica. They probably own that spot, but
yeah. Well, after these festivals, we're just the rest of this year we're headlining and co-headlining. So we have a co-headliner with Volbeat, and we have another one with co-headliner with Breaking Benjamin. And that all the rest of the year is all just full headlining, doing some overseas stuff that we haven't announced yet. But and it's just setting us up for we're planning on touring all 2026. You know, our record 1X will be 20 years old next year, so that's going to be special, and we're ready to go. So yeah, when I look at the whole big picture of how much touring we have coming up, it gets daunting. So I try to take it one day at a time.
I went through the list, man.
I just 24 hours at a time.
Canada with Volbeat basically, and then into Coheed with Breaking Benjamin throughout the fall, and then we're going to try to make that Salt Lake City show on the 27th of September. So, and then into Aftershock and a bunch more festivals. Holy,
yeah,
it's exciting.
It's gonna be good. And Breaking Ben and us have toured a lot in the past. We're a lot of we're pretty tight.
Right.
Barry, our guitar player, and Sean, their drummer, are best buddies. They're I don't know. They take apart cars and put them back together again. That's their thing.
Dude, that's like the most metal lifestyle ever. It's just like I just play in a metal band and then a rock band, and then I just take apart cars later. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, Barry, our guitar player Barry, he's been racing. He bought this I don't know. I'm not a speed guy. I drive like a grandmother, but Barry bought this what is it? Porsche GT3R. I think that's what it is.
Really?
It's a race car, and he's taking it to the track and stuff. I'm like, dude, you got a helmet on, right? He's like, oh.
Dude,
tell him to be careful.
Yeah, please be careful. You can ruin the tour
just right now.
Yeah. No, it's
good thing you
cool.
guys just got an extra guitarist and vocalist. You know what I mean? So,
I'm knocking on wood right now.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. I mean, geez, it's cool that you guys have a talent overload on the stage with you guys right now. That's what a blessing, dude. You know.
Yeah, and we're it's a lot hasn't changed as far as the way that we write songs, the way we wrote this new record. Adam came back and we started writing together, and it felt like time stood still. Process stays the same. A lot of the time we write this stuff on acoustic guitars, even if they're going to be heavy songs later.
Mm-hmm.
We still write them on acoustic to make sure the emotion translates in the core of the song.
Yeah.
And sometimes, especially now with so much technology, is you can make a demo sound huge. You can just demo out and add layers upon layers of guitars and whatever else. But it becomes harder to really kind of get to the root, the heart of the matter, whether the song is engaging and compelling and makes you feel something in a real way, and you're not trying too hard or whatever, so we tend to have success with that. Just we call it the campfire test. It's
I love that.
One guitar, one vocal, go.
I
Is this
love
a good
that.
So we've always done that.
How often do you guys get together and do that process?
Well, what we were doing for this record, I mean, we just announced that Adam's returning back in November, but we had been getting together for 2 years before that, planning it.
No way.
So Barry, the guy with all the cars, he's got a wicked spot down in southern Indiana, right at the Kentucky border. He's got a farm and field pastures and blah blah blah, and he's got this cabin studio that and he's got a big fire pit outside. So that's where he's had room to stay. There was a hotel down the road, and we did those trips. We did 4 of them there. We did one just with the 5 of us, and then the next one we started bringing in our producer. We had multiple producers on this one, but so the producer would show up, and then by that time we already had a good body of work that we just needed to start to sift through and make it the best version of itself.
I can't remember who I was watching. I was watching you in an interview recently. Sounded like June maybe for the album.
I think it's being pushed back to more August, I think.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, just because. Well, we've even sort of pushed back. Well, it's coming out soon, but our next single. Everything just because when we put out Mayday, and then it just we got so lucky because it just at radio and stuff, it really just has this longevity. So
yeah,
we kind of we have time. We're not in a huge rush to to do anything at this point. The record's done, so that's a nice weight off the shoulders.
Sonic Temple Art and Music Festival, the pinnacle of rock festivals in America, returns in 2025 with Linkin Park, Korn, 2 nights of Metallica, No Repeat Weekend, plus Bad Omens, Incubus, Alice in Chains, Rob Zombie, 3 Days Grace, Alice Cooper, I Prevail, Jimmy Eat World, Chevelle, Motionless in White, and so many more. May 8th to the 11th at historic Crew Stadium in Columbus, Ohio. Passes on sale now at SonicTempleFestival.com.
That's badass. I'm excited to hear it. That I'll say about Mayday, and I like this about songs like Mayday, is the more I've listened to it, the more I like it. It's not one of those that you're like, you listen to it once, you're like, oh, that was badass, but then you don't really go back to it. It's kind of got to wear on you a bit.
It's a deep listen.
But I think I've been through that like 8 times now, and the 8th has been the best, so that's badass.
Yeah.
Actually, most songs that I really end up like loving long term, like a lot of them, I'm like, they're not a first listen for me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Tool is like that for me. I love Tool records. I love everything they've put, but every time I hear a new record for the first time, I'm like, this is weird. Let me think about it. And then like a month later, I'm just like, I don't know. I think that's just depth, right? Your brain has to take its time figuring it all out.
Yeah, most things that are good or worth listening to, I think, are multiple listens. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But it's kind of funny. We were talking earlier too, because you guys' music is really palatable. I mean, just at a wide range. I feel like it's like at a wide range of music tastes, especially like in the proof is in the pudding when you like look at the amount of streams that you guys get compared to some bands that you wouldn't know where to put. You would think would have more or less or whatever it was. That's something I always appreciated. But you guys is live, dude. I'm so stoked to see you guys at Sonic Temple again. And so,
oh, right on, man. Yeah, as far as like the music being like, I don't know, like accessible or whatever, I think a part of that, I'll be honest with you, is like, we're not trying to like, it's not like, oh, we're going to make something mainstream, but we like to make rock music that people can dance to.
Yeah.
That's always been something for 3 days.
It does have a groove.
Our song Animal Become actually was like, I don't know, was voted on something on some site like as like the most danceable rock song of the, early 2000, mid 2000 or something. But it's like, I don't know, I always kind of liked thinking about that. If you're playing drums and people aren't dancing, maybe you're not, you're missing something. I don't know.
Yeah, that is a big void.
So for us, like the lyrics kind of remain dark and
Yeah.
kind of like contemplating life and brain and heart and stuff. But I don't know. I just like having a groove that's just like gets people going is like, I don't know. So it's something we've always like made sure that we had, so that it's not like so complicated that no one knows where to put their feet.
Yeah.
You're multidisciplinary, right? Like you play lots of instruments.
I started on piano when I was really young, and I went kind of into the Royal Conservatory stuff, which was all like classical training and sight reading and being able to like just look at a piece of music for the first time and be able to just play it, which on piano is extra difficult because there's 2 clefs. You've got 2 hands. So it's like you got to sort of parallel read. But so I was lucky that I, had the support in my school, and my mom like bought me a piano and stuff when I was really young. And just again, my school like had a music room, and I could experiment in there if I respected the instruments and stuff. So,
So are you you're pretty involved like in the writing process then? I would imagine, knowing all the things you know about music.
Yeah, definitely. I'm right in there, with every step of the way. And but again, like we're so collaborative. We kind of like with the band, we check, first of all, we check our ego at the door. So it doesn't matter who, like once we're in the room, the only important character in there is the song itself. It doesn't like just because you wrote this or that it's not like that. And I'm lucky to be in a band like that because we trust each other. It's like I can tell someone that I don't like that part, but it's not like I'm telling them I don't like them, but like you'd be surprised how many writing scenarios where like ego comes into play, and it's like the only thing that suffers at the end is the song. So yeah, like and basically everybody just kind of has their own bag of ideas that they worked on or started or recorded, made a demo of, guitar riff or a poem or a title or something. And then we all kind of just like get into the room, we dump all our bags out onto the table and just like collectively sift through the ideas that we think are most exciting. And then sometimes we'll be like, well, that music part goes great with this. So like try to put that together, put it in the same key, and just start getting those little nuggets of ideas and we keep working out like that. And that's kind of how the record comes about.
That's so crazy.
It makes me excited to hear it.
Yeah.
I wish that was a skill set of mine, but it's not.
No, I'm barely good at it.
We write some raps. We do some raps. If you'd like to hear a rap about potatoes, because we're from Idaho, it's a big thing. But
potato wrap.
Yeah,
Nice.
potato wrap.
Condiment
Yeah,
wrap. We got a
I mean,
condiment.
Yeah.
it can relate. People can relate to that. Everyone eats potatoes.
Everybody, it's the most versatile food. You know what
I mean, what's your favorite?
Type of
Potato dish? Yeah, iteration of a tater.
I do these. I take these mini potatoes, cut them in half, and then smash them, and then bake them
Oh my
with
gosh.
sea salt and olive oil.
Oh, that sounds
And they're like
good.
kind of like these little crispy wafers of smashed potato, the mini ones.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That sounds like a city tater.
I've never heard of the smashing of it though. That's
Is that a city tater? Did
It
you say?
sounds like a city tater.
Yeah.
a city tater. I don't
Pretty
know.
highbrow.
Okay.
It's, you know,
That sounds delicious, is what it sounds like.
yeah, it is. I think you boil them first, and then you smash them into a wafer. And
Oh,
then you
yeah.
bake 'em.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got plenty of
Cut 'em
them
in
to
half
test it
first.
out here, so. Yeah, dude. Well, you might as well be from Idaho, honestly, because we're chainsawing and four-wheeling and shooting guns.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I'm a small town Canadian guy. You know, I live about hour and a half from Toronto, but I'm on an acreage, and it's just we had this huge ice storm recently, and basically what happens is it freezes rain, and then the trees will literally get like 3 inches of ice, and so there were a lot of trees down. Actually, I know people like where the trees hit their houses and stuff like that.
Oh no.
I was fortunate that didn't happen, but yeah, I'm just up there with a chainsaw with my AirPods listening to podcasts. I can do that. It's my happy place, man. I'm a small town Canadian. You know,
Yeah.
we got rednecks up here too.
Nice, dude. What kind of podcasts do Canadian rednecks listen to?
I'm listening to Jordan Peterson a lot right now.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, Peterson, and then I joined the Jordan Peterson Academy, so they're actually more like lectures that are like 8 hours long, but I mean, I can just listen to that. Sometimes I'm, with the music, with 3 Days Grace, and with, I run a record label as well, judge and jury. And so a lot of time in my downtime, I'd rather just try to podcast, educate myself a little bit, take a break from all the noise, not the noise, the sounds of the music.
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of the opposite. It's just like when I don't want to do anything academia related, I'm like, I have to turn on some metal music right now, or else I am just gonna, you know what I mean? It's I have to turn on music. That's like my escape. But it's funny that podcasts have become such a. I mean, people listen to our podcasts, and it is like,
Why?
yeah,
I don't know why they do it.
yeah, exactly. It's sometimes it's hard for me to listen to podcasts. We have a producer that will send us. He's like, hey, you guys should check this podcast out and listen to it. And I don't do podcast homework. I'm the worst. I'm probably the worst podcast.
You are. I think it's worse.
Yeah, I've been nerding out on like Andrew Huberman.
Oh,
who's,
yeah.
Like they get they kind of get into like neuroscience and just like nerdy stuff like that. But I don't know, like you get to the certain age where if you can do a little bit of self-help by listening to how your brain operates or something, maybe that can. I think it helps me get through my day.
Oh,
you know, what's going on out there.
You know,
in here.
that's really funny. I was just I'm in the mental health field. It's my real job, not just podcasts. But I wish it was just podcasts. But I was at a
Do a better job then.
I should do a better job at podcasting. Yeah. I was at a conference last week, a forensics conference, and a neuroscientist came and talked to us and did some of our continuing education, and it was about TBIs, like traumatic brain injuries. It was awesome. It was really cool, and it talked a lot about like neuroplasticity and things like that. You know what I mean? And how it kind of continued, because we always have this idea that it really goes away after our brain's fully developed, but that's just not the case. You can continue to learn stuff and
Yeah, and with the neuroplasticity, that's like a manifestation of hope, because it's a reminder that you can retrain your stuff. It's like you just you got to do the work, right? And have somebody that and ask. It's like I do some anti-bullying speeches and stuff.
Oh, nice.
And, suicide prevention, and a lot of it is just like, hey, don't be too shy to ask for help or just ask questions. The answers out there make you feel a little bit better when you're living your day.
Oh yeah, well yeah. I just feel like the more we normalize those types of conversations, the better off we. I mean, Gen Z is doing better at it, I think, than us millennials and Gen Xers did. You know what I mean? And normalizing just talking about that kind of stuff. I worked as a therapist in a high school for a few years, and they were all so cool about that kind of stuff, because they were, there's a lot of, bullying and things still happen, that for sure, and almost worse to a certain degree, but But also, like on the opposite side of that spectrum, people were much more, you know, they just like, oh yeah, I'm going to go see my therapist, and it was just like a normal conversation for them to have.
Yeah.
But in 2006, or 2002 or whatever, when we were in high school, if we were to say something like that, people would be like, especially from a small town, dude, it's just like, just go shoot your gun or something, dude. Like, chill out, bro.
Yeah.
You know?
No, 100%. I think being on the forefront's huge, and I think, but also everything, you know, we have to like give ourselves some slack, all of us, because like it's a moving target. The speed at which all the world's information is being fed to you now today is faster than 2000, you know, obviously it's faster than 2006, but it's faster than yesterday. Just the amount of just like fast paced little information bits and misinformation and everything in between is coming at you so fast that you really kind of like, we have to adjust for that. So it takes kind of like being active about it today to not have all that stuff, you know, influencing and scaring you and pissing you off or whatever. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I mean, the funny thing is our political landscape right now is just really hard to on either side of the spectrum for us, and so I think people more and more need that break. So maybe
you know what,
the podcasting and the listening to metal thing is, we need more of that, you know?
yeah, when it comes to that, man, you know what my grandmother always used to say to us kids, man?
What?
She used to say this: fuck it.
Your grandma sounds awesome.
She is awesome.
Fuck it, it'll be fine.
I was not expecting.
Yeah, that was some awesome grandma wisdom.
Really wise words over the years, yeah.